William Morrow and HarperAudio present Queen of All Mayhem, the blood-soaked life and mysterious death of Belle Starr, the most dangerous woman in the West, by Dane Huckelbridge, read by George Newbern. A note before we begin, don't forget to download the accompanying enhancement PDF from your audiobook provider. It contains a map and list of sources from the book. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under't. Lady Macbeth. I'm a friend to any brave or gallant outlaw. Myra Maybelle Shirley, a.k.a. Belle Starr. Prologue. A Lethal Twilight. Exactly what transpired on that cold and rain-cursed day in Indian Territory on the silted banks of the South Canadian River was known to only two people, neither of whom would be in a position to discuss it with anyone by day's end. But between the little that is known and the much that is not, we can imagine. We know that on the 3rd of February in the year 1889, just 2 days shy of her 41st birthday, Myra Maybelle Shirley mounted her horse following a short visit with friends, a small gathering of Choctaw and Cherokee neighbors, and the white sharecroppers who leased their land. We know that corn pone was served, and that local gossip was shared, all of which was fairly standard Sunday fare. We know that she stayed no more than an hour before bidding her hosts farewell and clopping away through the frigid mud and the fading light, back toward her log house at Younger's Bend. And we know that this was the last time any of them would see her alive. We can imagine this woman sitting straight and proud in her side saddle, weary but unbowed after serving time in federal prison, after losing a brother and 2 husbands to gunfights, and even after having just escorted a 4th husband partway to Fort Smith to face charges of larceny. Her face is weathered and creased from a lifetime spent running from the law, but the stubborn defiance that burns in her eyes bears testament to a deeper resilience. She has seen everything, done everything she ever set out to. She has nothing left to prove, to herself or anyone else. We can imagine her in relatively simple attire on this day, forsaking the black velvet and plumed Stetsons she sports in town for the plainer garb she wears among friends. She has even left her favorite pair of pistols behind. She saw no reason to carry them on such a familiar road, so close to home, especially now that the heydays of her outlaw career are all but behind her, and that most of her enemies are either dead or in prison. In the saddle scabbard is her trusty Winchester rifle, with her name and signature brass star emblazoned on the stock, which should suffice. It is a decision that she will soon come to bitterly regret. But ambling confidently beneath the dripping boughs of pines, the steam rising from her horse's withers, the path dipping down toward the lulling waters of the South Canadian, her thoughts begin to drift, her mind to wander. That is, until a shotgun blast jars her from both her stupor and her saddle. A full barrel of buckshot, delivered from 20 feet behind, square into her back. The raw force of its impact throws her from her mount and leaves her gasping in the mud while her spooked horse whinnies and thunders away, taking her precious rifle, now more so than ever, along with it. Perhaps she summons enough strength, with the raindrops drumming steadily upon the brim of her upturned hat, one cheek buried in wet river-bottom clay, to reach down blindly for a pistol, only to realize that there is no holster at her waist, that there are no ivory handles to grasp or oiled triggers to pull. Perhaps she hears the doomed sucking sound of approaching boots in the mire. Perhaps she sees a dark form rising from the crimson corner of a bloodshot eye. There is a second shotgun blast, this we know, delivered from above at point-blank range. We can only imagine the sulphurous smell of the black powder, the descending pall of white smoke, the cold pattering of rain, the dying of the light. The turbulent life of Myra Maybelle Shirley is ending, but the legend of Belle Starr is about
Sample complete. Ready to continue?